Oh my gosh, Mason. Third quarter just ended, and you have an 80% chance of winning.
That's just how my team rolls. Didi's got those garbage Cowboys players over there.
Wow.
Fourth quarter's about to come up in the bag.
What could happen?
Easy. What could happen? Yeah. Easy.
I gotta tell you, I don't know who saw Dallas basically score it. I tell you what, Skittle?
Hi everyone, welcome to the Will Aber Show with Will Aber. I am of course Will Aber.
I'm Mason Aber.
We got through it. This is week 9 of our fantasy football league, and I'm telling you, it's coming down to the wire. We got some great matchups this past week, and we'd love to tell you about them if you got the time. So, would you like to take away with our first game, my friend?
I will take away with the first game. In this game, we had mom versus dad, little parent rivalry there.
Mm-hmm. As we like to call it, the battle for custody. Just
exactly.
Little poke at them right there, but yeah.
Anyway, this is the B3 that we all know. All right, mom ended up winning by a score of 130 to 90. So, mom, wonderful game. Dak Prescott had a really nice game. Same with Diggs. You have a 2-game win streak. Well done, Dad. That was not how you looked in recent history, and
rough week for you, big guy.
Absolutely.
If my math is not wrong, I think Mom swept Dad this year.
I think you're right.
Unreal. Oh, that is quite the bragging.
She gets the custody.
Dad, just a quick note for you. You had under 5 points from Kelsey, Kenneth Walker, and Gabe Davis, who had 0. Rough week.
It's always rough, yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Our second game, and boy, I would love to announce this one. Number 8, Porter Ward, Ingram Toenails, faced an uphill battle when he took on number 6, my Raiders of the Lost Yard. And boy, oh boy, was it a good week for my team. Final score 95 to 115. The Raiders pulled it out. For Porter, finally a good week from Joe Burrow. Who'd have thought? 22 points.
Sadly, not the rest of his team.
Exactly. T. Higgins had 19 on the bench, 2-game losing streak, and did you know that he only has a losing record against 2 teams in this league? Me and you.
How about that?
Yeah,
it's just, superior team right now.
1-3 all time against a team managed by me. So that is just a fun little tidbit for you. As for my team, Eckler and Jacobs both had 21 points. And I got a 17 spot from Mark Andrews. Great week for me. Even though Cooper Kupp has had 3 straight weeks with 6 points. He's on bye next week, so hopefully they get him back in the fantasy scoring mindset.
All right, and then third game we had Didi's Yellowstone Bisons taking on Barry's Strongest of Wills. Another will on will matchup here.
Another. Anyway, continue.
I mean, there's 4 Wills in the league.
Okay, fair.
Okay. Barry's trying to prove his name as the strongest will here. Barry went out and won by a score of 127 to 107. Another commanding victory for Barry.
I was just gonna say, Didi we all expected him to sort of run away, but this is quite the surprising blow here that Barry was able to land. Christian McCaffrey was on bye, and Didi is 0-2 when Christian McCaffrey is not in the lineup. So next week I expect a huge bounce back win.
Absolutely.
Let's see if anyone can beat him with all of his players. Is my point that I'm going to make.
I agree. All right, and Barry, you had 27 out of Dalton Schultz, your tight end. you're on a 2-game win streak, trending in the right direction. So,
and speaking to the strongest of wills, you're 4-1 against the wills.
there you go.
Which is crazy. Who would have thought? Anyway, our last game number 4, was number 2, Nini, Lightning Lady, taking on number 7, Mason's Ray Rice Elevator Service. Final score in that one, Nini 112, Mason 98. A real defensive battle there. As for Nini, 23 from the Cleveland defense, which happens. And, of course, the 28 spot from C.D. Lamb, which y'all heard about earlier. Swept Mason this year. Not a good week for Mason, as opposed to a great week for Nini, but still a big-time win for Nini.
I'd like to send a thank you message to Justin Herbert. When I needed you for 22 points, you came up and got me, I think, 7. So, thank you.
Speaking to that, the quarterback that Mason benched, C.J. Stroud, had 42 points, which would have helped, I'm not going to lie. And then Justin Jefferson, there are some trade rumors out there.
Maybe not.
The question more is not where is Jefferson going to be. The question is more when is he going to come back. And I think that the timeline is not this week, but next week. I think
that's the most likely timeline.
Because it's an interesting one, and Mason's team certainly needs Justin Jefferson back, or if
he's off my team.
If he's gone, he needs to come back. But yeah, that's it for our scores. So let's shoot it over to the awards section. You've all been waiting for it. I
certainly have.
I know, we've all been waiting for it. And I'm going to let you lead us off here today.
All right, so as we always start with, we have our first award, the Golden Chainsaw Award for cutting down the competition. And that goes to Barry. You were the second highest scorer this week, and you took down the juggernaut that is Didi's Yellowstone Bisons.
I could not agree more with that statement. A huge win for Barry. A much bigger win for him than it is a loss for Didi, I will say.
Absolutely.
But quite the momentum builder, especially with the playoffs nearing up a month from now. The Vacuum Award, really, I'm sorry, Mace, it couldn't go to anyone else, but it has to go to you for leaving 60 points on your bench.
70.
Oh, 70. My bad. Poor week from Justin Herbert and another poor week from Bijan Robinson. It just was not a good week for you, Mason. Vacuum Award.
Thank you. For insightful foresight, we go back to Barry. Dalton Schultz, you picked him up off of waivers this week, and he got 27. I didn't see it coming.
No one saw it coming.
He didn't see it coming. That came out of nowhere. Wonderful pickup. That helped you win, and insightful foresight goes to you for sure.
Well, perfectly said, Mason. The Cond Award is going to go to B3, despite being terrible this week. I think you have a real legitimate claim to this award, given Travis Kelce being held under 5, and Kenneth Walker, and Gabe Davis. The one thing I'm not going to say that you were conned on is your choice of defense, the New York Giants defense, which was somehow started this week and got -1 points.
That could be the opposite of insightful foresight. That might be the worst pregame pickup we have seen all season.
In fact, me and Mason were talking before the show, trying to figure this out, and that one move alone almost landed you the Vacuum Award. Unfortunately for that.
Yeah, I was worse than you somehow. So
yeah. Yeah, and there you go. On to the AP poll. Let's just jump right on into it. Number 1 comes to no surprise, right?
Yeah, no surprise. We have Didi at number 1 in the AP poll.
Yep.
You did just lose, but you're the juggernaut, 7-2. You deserve it.
At number 2, we have Nini, who's only 1 game behind Didi. Which is weird to say in the same sentence, given how strong Didi's team has been the whole year. Right. But Nini, sitting at 6-3, is our number 2 seed.
Number 2 seed, yep. And then number 3, we have Mom at 5-4. Good season. You're one game behind Nini, actually. So.
And then at number 4 is our other 5-4 team, Barry. So fantastic top four, I think. And that
Absolutely.
and those are your only four winning record teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, congratulations to you, top four.
Yep. And then for our bottom four, we have number 5, Will, at 4-5. Playing better than the other ones, but still a losing record.
And then we go to our bottom 3, which are all 3-6 teams. So first off, number 6, the big guy, B3, down a spot from number 5 last week, number 6 this week.
Yep. Number 7, we go to me. After this past week, we considered if I should fall back to the bottom seed, but Porter, being the 8th seed, happened to play just as poor as I did this week, and so we're both in the toilet bowl still.
We've had some crummy play, especially from the bottom 3, that needs to be picked up. And now that we're picking up and we're later on in the season, that takes us to our games next week, and there are some important ones regarding seeding. First and foremost, we have number 8 Porter taking on number 1 Didi, which is quite the battle for Porter. I'm just going to phrase it that way.
This is, an uphill battle for sure.
It is. I don't want to say it's a must win, but we're getting to that stage where Porter needs to start picking up some wins here and there. And this may not be the week to do it, but we need to see some
We need
effort.
to see something else out of Porter.
Then we have number 5 Will taking on number 2 Nini. And this is going to be a good game too, especially considering both teams' star players are on bye. Cooper Kupp for me, Patrick Mahomes for Nini. Do not disrespect the GOAT.
We're going to have to pull up the records on how Cooper Kupp is done.
He is my star, and he is going to take us there to the finals.
There you go. All right, so after that, we have number 6 B3 against number 7 me. If I'm looking for a bounce back game, playing the number 6 seed is not a bad one to bounce back on. But
yeah, and on top of that, you got Hurts, Kelsey, and AJ Brown on bye for Dad. So
Dad,
survive if you can.
Dad, you survive if you can. Yeah.
And finally, we've got our most important matchup of the week. Number 4 Barry taking on number 3 Mom in what will determine top 3. Like, it is
Absolutely, it's a crucial game.
A vitally important battle between 2, 5, and 4 teams. Mom won the last matchup, so a sweep gives her a leg up when we go into the playoffs. It gives you a
massive leg up on the playoff race.
So I think, that's it for that. And do you have anything to add? We may be done.
I think we ran through this one.
We kind of did. Pretty good.
I can't think of anything.
Oh, okay. Well, can you think of something you want to say to your opponent next week? The big guy.
Well, just keep your head up. Don't get too down on yourself after this upcoming week. It's just fantasy football. It's not something to get too worked up over when you get demolished.
Well, going off that note, I think we're done here. I'm going to show y'all some highlights from the group chat as a closeout because it was kind of fire this past week. But this has been the Will Aber Show with Will Aber. I'm of course Will Aber.
I'm of course Mason Aber.
Make sure you check your fantasy lineups before Thursday Night Football. And
there we go.
That's it. Bye, y'all.
See ya.